Hey guys, so I am currently working on a pattern test and I think he's coming out so cute. And I was just sitting here working on his embroideries and I thought if I am working on this, then why don't I just sit down, record a quick video and chat with you guys about the 5 things that sold out at my last market. I thought that would be a pretty cool thing to share with you guys. I should add, the only patterns that I'm going to be mentioning today are the patterns that I had multiples of. If I didn't have like more than, 2 of an item, then I'm not going to talk about it because I did have several one-off patterns that, of course, they sold out because I only had one of them. And the market did go really well. So I did have a lot of those. But I'm just going to be speaking to the patterns that I had, multiples of. Okay, so the first pattern that I have for you today is the Lala Cloud Loaf Bunny. That is a pattern that I have talked about in another video. It's a 100% no-sew pattern. It works up really quickly, and I did have 5 of those at my market, and I sold all of them. I sold them for $10, and they were super cute. I did do them up in Easter colors, but I don't think that that pattern has to be an Easter-specific pattern. I think if you do neutral colored ones, or maybe if you do like a row of rainbow, then they could fit into any market, and they're going to be like that good. I did them in velvet yarn, so they were a little bit bigger than hand size, but if you did them in blanket yarn, then they could be a good mid-size item for you to have. And so it is a free pattern over on Instagram, and she actually has quite a few free patterns over on her page, so I do recommend that you go check out Lala. I highly recommend it. So the second pattern that sold out for me was the Crochet with Kelsey Schnauzer. So this was a pattern test that I did last year towards the end of the year. So it didn't go to any other markets. This was its first market. And it did really well. So I sold the first one within the first couple of minutes, and then I sold, it was actually, no, it was the first thing I sold. So the first thing I sold was the gray Schnauzer, and soon after I sold its little pink buddy. But the gray Schnauzer, it had a thread like pop through later, like, I don't know, an hour later into the market because people were sticking around. We had, the Easter Bunny, we had an egg hunt, we had a couple of things going on at that market. So people weren't just leaving after they were done looking around. They were really sticking around and hanging out. And so the dad brought it back over to me and he was like, hey, I don't know if this is like a problem, but would you mind fixing it for us? I was like, oh yeah, of course. And so it was pretty busy still. So I went ahead and I didn't really want to explain like, oh, let's just shove it back in. I was there. I had a darning needle on me. So I just went ahead and fixed it. But they went ahead and they were like at one of the egg hunts, I think, when he brought it to me. So it was a while before they picked it back up, and let me tell you, people kept trying to buy it from me. They saw it in my hand as I was like rethreading it, and then they could see it. I didn't have it out on display, but I had it just tucked behind one of my crates, and people would see it and they would ask me if they could buy it. It was so crazy. Like they were really, and some lady, she was actually like, oh, can you make it for me real quick? And I was like, no, I can't make it for you real quick. It actually takes me almost like probably 45 minutes. But yeah, so that was a really popular item. I did only sell those for $5 because I made them from velvet yarn, and so they were really quite small. They are more worthy of a little bit of a higher price tag because they do take a bit of time with the color changes. But, I only had 2 of them. I really wasn't worried about it. And that is work that I did a while ago, so I wasn't, beat up about it. But they were super cute. So I think that if I had done them up in blanket yarn, those could have easily been a $15 item. My next item that sold out was my very own pattern. So it was my Mr. Chimera pattern, and let me tell you, I was shocked. That pattern actually wasn't very popular when I released it, and it took a few days to even sell 1 copy. But I sold all of my chimeras that I brought with me to my market, and there were quite a few of them, including a jumbo one that I did in Sweet Snuggles, and it was 100%, so that pattern's a 2-in-1. It comes with a full sew version that is more accurate to the character it's based off of from Spy Family, which is an anime. And then it has a low sew option, which is just basically just a chimera. So it's not it doesn't resemble the chimera from the show very much. But I think both of them are pretty cute, and I sold all of them, so that was so cute, so cool. One of them was for a nursery gift to a new baby, and the lady buying it was like, this is so cool. I'm so glad that I could find something so unique. And I was like, best compliment ever. But, it's so cool. And I was just so happy when the very last chimera, I took a video of the very last chimera for my Instagram, and I was like, you guys, I can't believe it. I'm almost out of chimeras. Like, I didn't think this would happen. And then right after that, my last chimera sold, and I swear I had to like take a moment not to cry because it was pretty cool. The next item that sold out for me was Pokeballs. So Ghost Kitty Crochet over on Instagram has a free pattern for Pokeballs, and I made 5 of them. And I sold 5 of them. And the reason I like this pattern specifically is because she walks you through how to get the color changes to be clean all the way around the ball so that you can't tell where the color change happens. There's no jigs and there's no breaks in the color change. So that's why I like that pattern. I'm pretty confident that had I made 10, maybe even 12, I could have sold all of them because people were buying them up. And then people were coming around later and they were asking me for more. So one mom actually bought 2 and then she came back later and she wanted to buy more. I guess she was doing Easter baskets or her Easter basket planning, but I didn't have any more. And then there was a bunch of boys that came through like multiple times. And then by the time they got their moms to come with them, I didn't have any more Pokeballs. I didn't think it would be as popular. My husband was super confident. I wasn't as confident, but they did. They sold. I had them for $10 each. I think I could have raised that a little bit and still done pretty good as well. But I was happy with it. They sold like hotcakes. They were gone within the first hour. The next item that sold out was Leafeon by ErinsYarnimals. And so that was one that I had mentioned in, I think, my Everything That Didn't Sell Out video, that I had wanted to try one of her patterns because she has these, they're Pokemon, but they're in a chubby style. I don't have any because I sold them all. They're in a chubby style, so they're like vaguely Pokemon. And so I thought it would be a cool idea to get some of those and have them at a market. And they did. They did so well because they look so cute. They're so different. And so especially boys, they were like, oh, that's so funny. And so I had 2 of them and I sold both of them within the first hour. Those were super cute. And those were actually another item that I had requests for if I could make customs. And unfortunately, no. I did take one custom, but that was to save a friendship. There was these 2 girls. They came up to my table. I only had one of the PomPomPurin Baguettes, and they both wanted it. And so to save a friendship, I agreed to do a custom for that order. But yeah, so those are the 5 items that sold out at my market. Let's run through the list one more time. I had the Lala Cloud Crochet Loaf Bunny, sold out. The Crochet with Kelsea Schnauzer was the very first item that sold and also sold out. Then my very own pattern, Mr. Chimera, which is a 2-in-1 pattern over on my Etsy store. It has a full sew and a low sew version, and it does come with video tutorials. And then we had the Ghost Kitty Crochet Pokéball and ErinsYarnimals Leafeon. And so those are all the items that I had multiples of that sold out at my market. But thank you so much for sitting through this, you guys. I hope that it brought some value to your day. I hope you saw something that made you smile, and I hope maybe you got some ideas for your next market. Even if it's not these patterns, maybe you have some, you know, in your saved patterns list that you think are akin to these, have the same vibe as these, could accomplish the same task for somebody. And yeah, so I just hope that it was helpful. Have a great day.